All right, finishing up that last box in Throwback Thursday. We're going to be reading a paragraph and looking to underline the main idea and circle two transitional words. All right, so let's read our paragraph. Living things can change the environment. Some plants are helpful while others are harmful. For example, mangrove trees provide shelter for animals. However, the oils of some plants can cause an itchy rash. All right. So, what's the main idea of that paragraph? I hope that you underlined the very first sentence. Most times, the main idea will be in the first sentence or the first few sentences of a paragraph because you always want to start off with the main idea of whatever paragraph you're writing and then start listing your details after that. So, our main idea of this paragraph is living things can change the environment. Okay. And then we're looking for two transitional words. Transitional words are words that help us to transition between paragraphs or even inside of a paragraph. So, two transition words that are inside that paragraph is for example and the word however. That helps us transition from the beginning of our paragraph to two examples of how living things change our environment. Okay. Moving on to Fraction Friday. An ant can measure from 0.08 to 1 inch in size. Write 0.08 as a fraction. Okay, so we haven't had a chance to even get into decimals yet. We did talk about them a little bit with our morning work. So I'm going to go over that with you again now. So 1 inch, we know that this is 1. Okay. If we look over here at this number here would be our ones place. Okay. So obviously we don't have a whole number just yet. Okay. Because there's a 0 there. Then you have your decimal point. Now, the very first place value to the right of the decimal points are the tenths place. Okay. And then the next one is the hundredths place. And if we continue to go, it'd be the thousands place, and then the 10,000s place, and the 100,000s place, and so on. Okay. So if this place is the hundredths place value, then what this decimal is telling us is that we have 8 hundredths of a fraction part. 8 hundredths. So this decimal is showing us this fraction. Okay, so if you wrote it correctly, you should have 8 hundredths. And we will get into decimals as soon as we get back to school. So don't forget your fractions. All right, an astronomer named Harlow Shapley discovered that the Argentine ant ran at a speed of 1/5 inches per second at a temperature of 92 degrees Fahrenheit and a speed of 1 3/8 inches per second at a temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. What can you conclude about the ant's speed and the temperature? So, when we conclude something, we have to look at all of the information that was given to us and see if we can find a relationship between it. Okay, so if we take a look here, the ant went 1 5/8 inches per second when it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit. He went 1 3/8 inches per second when it was 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So we know by looking at these two fractions that this one here, he went the furthest, right? 1/8 inches per second. He went further when it was 92 degrees than when it was 85 degrees. Okay. So by looking at that, we can say that the speed is faster. The speed is faster when the temperature is higher. Okay. because we know that he went further